Hi, Dana Phillips, family nurse practitioner here with All Things Nurse, your place for real-life nurse advice. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more content on this topic. So today I'm going to talk about working nurse moms. And I recently had a baby in January, and I have been home with the baby since then. And so now the beginning of June, I am back to work. And it's been very interesting because I'm in a new job, a new role, and I'm a new mom. And my baby's at a new daycare during the week. So there's been a lot of change, a lot of transition, and I've been going through my own kind of mental battles with all of that stuff. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's been going on the past few weeks, and maybe some of you are in the season of your life where you can relate to this or take some comfort in knowing that you're not the only one going through this type of thing. So, for a couple of months, like when I was home with the baby, I have been setting up a new job. For those of you who don't know from previous videos, I graduated from NP school back in December, and I had my baby in January, so I've been spending time while home with the baby also working on lining up, my new NP job and new NP role. So it's been a little difficult, but so long story short, I started my new job a couple of weeks ago, and I lined things up so that I could have kind of like a week of transition before I physically went to work. And what I mean by that is having my baby transition into daycare and me doing like time away from him and that kind of thing. So the first week, I was doing trainings online for preparation for my job. So basically I would like drop my baby off at daycare, and then I would go down the street to like a Panera and get on their Wi-Fi and do my online trainings. And that way there I was geographically close to my son, and I was able to message the teachers on the app and stuff that we use at his school so that I could feel physically and emotionally closer to him while I was working through all of that stuff that first week. So, I would go set up at a Panera, do my online trainings and whatever other work I had to do. And then each day I gradually increased like the amount of hours that he was at daycare for both him and me to just kind of get used to it. And it was his first time, drinking from a bottle and all that stuff. So I just wanted to make sure that he was going to be eating enough and well and napping and all that stuff. So fast forward to week 2. So far, week 1 of daycare went great. He's loving school. And then week 2 was I'm physically starting my job. So I physically started going into, I'm doing geriatric psychiatric care right now. So I'm a prescriber for an entity that places prescribers in different rehabs and nursing homes. So I am the psychiatric prescriber for about 75 residents at a local nursing home. And so it's very interesting. But the thing about that is, being a new NP and being in this kind of role, it's like I'm doing it all on my own. Granted, I do have access to a psychiatrist that I can consult with. I have access to other nurse practitioners that I can consult with. And there's a medical director with the rehab, but he's not like physically there all the time. So, I do have resources that I can pull from, and I have a video about that, how to use your resources. You can go ahead and check that out. And I have my paper resources, my books, my apps, all that stuff. So week 1, I was just trying to figure it out. I was trying to get in my groove, figure out who the residents are. What do they look like? Where can I find them? Are they in their room? Are they in the activities room? That kind of thing. And figure out the documentation, figure out just the ins and outs of prescribing. You know, I'm tweaking these people's antipsychotics, SSRIs, benzodiazepines. So, you know, it's heavy duty stuff. And a lot of these patients are completely not alert and oriented. So I'm also working with the staff, working with the residents' DPOAs, which are typically like their sons or daughters most of the time. So it's a very multifaceted role, and so far I'm really liking it. I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable in the role, and so I'll talk about fast forward to week 3, which was this past week. My son's doing wonderful at daycare. He comes home so tired, and he does like music class and arts and crafts. He's 4 months old. Like, the curriculum is really, really amazing. And he's like just starting to babble, and oh my God, it's so cool to see his brain expanding. And I feel like they're giving him like the stimulation that like I necessarily can't give to him at home, you know, because one thing about being like a stay-at-home mom the past few months that I've realized is like, you just, personally for me, I felt like I like constantly needed to be doing something around the house, vacuuming, mopping, laundry, dishes. You know, honestly, it's such an endless list of things that you need to get done at your house. I constantly felt very like inundated by all the tasks, but at the same time feeling like guilty that I needed to give like all my time to my son, which I definitely did. I gave as much time as possible. I mean, any new moms out there know like a baby like is constantly eating. So, you know, I spent many hours of my day breastfeeding. But over time, it's like I started to feel very down and depressed, just because like I started to feel like not useless, but I started to feel like my brain was like literally just atrophying, and I was like questioning like my judgment about things. And I thrive on like structure. And so when I had like a very unstructured day at home with my baby, like I would try to have some sort of routine, you know, like get up, get dressed, breakfast, maybe like get some work done, try to work out. But honestly, like the routine always revolved around like what my baby needed that day. And as new parents, I'm sure you all know that changes day by day. And you can only have a routine, you know, so much. And a routine can only go so far. Sometimes you got to be very flexible and tweak it and all that stuff. But anyway, so getting back to work really helped me kind of break out of that kind of funk. Although I will also add that I did kind of fall into another funk this, not this past week, but the week prior. It was like my first week at work, and I was feeling like just really depressed being away from my baby, and you know, just kind of questioning everything, like, why do we do what we do? And I'm spending all these hours away from him. And it wasn't even like that much, it wasn't even that many hours. It was like, you know, I'm working like 4 to 5 physical hours a day. And then I do like my notes at home on the computer. So, you know, I can do that like when he's sleeping or whatever. But I was going through this just mental battle within myself. But I've gotten over it, thankfully, and we're starting to really thrive in our new routine. And you know, getting my husband involved and my stepson involved in this new routine has been very helpful, both in the standpoint of like physical help, but also in the standpoint of like emotional support as well. So if any of you out there are new moms that are getting back to work, you know, it's a transition. It's hard. It can be depressing, but you'll get in your groove. You'll find your rhythm. You'll find what's working for you, what's not working for you. And unfortunately, it's just one of those things that you got to kind of feel out day by day and tweak as you go along. But honestly, like I feel like now that I'm back at work, I feel like I have like a higher appreciation for my baby, and I look forward to seeing him so much after work. Not that I didn't feel otherwise before, but you know, it's like when you're with them 24/7, you know, you don't have even a moment to miss them. Except sometimes when they're napping. Sometimes I miss him when he's napping, but I know that sounds corny, but I know some moms out there know the feeling. But anyway, so if any of you new moms are out there struggling, just know that, you know, it does get better. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave in the video. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to my channel for more nurse-related life advice content. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.